Okay here, hey, how you doing? Um, I'm gonna do a little review. Let's see here. Wasn't quite prepared. And obviously I can't open this bag. But I ordered me, I think it's from King's Body Jewelry. Yep, King Body Jewelry, I believe. I imagine somebody will correct me. So now, obviously I can't operate this bag here. I just had it open because I put one in. Okay, well, I'm gonna tear it. So, I just got this today, and it is from King's Body Jewelry. King's Body Jewelry. Represent them up, you know. I've ordered stuff from a long time ago. Little backstory about me and stretching. I've stretched all the way to 2 inch, and I was happy with it. Got with my fiance and her 5-year-old at the time, who were roughhousing, and kicked my 2 inch out of my ear. Tore my ear in two. Which kind of sucked. Because, well, it sucked because, A, I had to go get this ear fixed, which is, I believe this is an inch. And I'm planning to go to 2 inch. But, that's not what this story's about. There's a little backstory on it. I've probably had my ear stretched since, I think, like 15. Got my ears pierced. And from there was this race to put a bigger hole in my ear. So, and I'm 27 now. 27, I didn't think about it. 27 now. And I can't say how nice it is. God, I look fat. Look at that. God, man. Okay, back to that. Distraction, ADHD. Is how nice the packaging is nowadays. But this is a stretch kit from them, I guess. A stretch kit. I think it's just kind of like a kit that gets you all your stainless steel single flare, the little rubber bands on them. And they're rubber. Like, gasket rings, you know, I call them. But let's get into it. Those ones don't have sizes on them, so you kind of guesstimate. But the bigger ones, this is what made me want to do a review on them. Because I've got some stretching kits that are alright. They're alright. But this, let's see, let me start here. Yeah, we'll start with this guy. 1.5 inches. Okay. Labeled. Stapled together. I don't know if anyone else does this because I don't really order. I usually go to a shop. Shops are a pain in the ass. I ordered this. Of course, I ordered primary mail, and did not take the 1 to 3 business days. That was kind of a rip. But it finally got here. Nothing to tell you how long, but it finally got here. So, packaging is sweet. I don't know if you can really see it. Yeah. Focus. Hocus pocus. Come on, focus, wocus. There we go. 1.5 inches. Nice packaging. Love it. Look at these. 1 to, I imagine, whatever, 1 3/4, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. 1 3/4. Something around there. You know, I don't have a tape measure close. I have to look at it. But 1 to whatever. We'll just say 1 and up. And that came just like that. Just like this bottom one right here. With all of them in it. And I can't say how happy I am with the packaging. And how easy and now affordable jewelry is to buy for your ear. And if you're trying to stretch up, this is not necessarily the way. It is okay because it's stainless steel. Obviously you don't want to force these through, and then just make that statement now. Don't force them through. There's a number of different things, but since there's so much stuff out there, there's stretching plugs that they have, which look kind of cool. They got like a beveled edge, which are kind of sweet if you're doing a stretch. But I think if you're doing a stretch, ideally, like these are cool. These are like, I had to modify this one. They're really supposed to look like that, but since I have fat ears, they don't like to squeeze through that tiny little gap there. But these aren't super heavy, but they're heavy enough. They look kind of goofy. I think only girls can kind of walk around with these. But if you're a dude, I mean, you could try it. So, I mean, it's easier to stretch your ears with something that's not super heavy, but something just heavy enough that you can walk around. And depending on job, of course. I was a mechanic for a while, and I had my stone jewelry in, and racking a car, I would end up dragging that bad boy down the concrete. Not ideal. Kind of freaks you out at first. You're like, what the heck is that? It's just your expensive jewelry dragging against the very yucky ground. So, but this is a review video, I guess. Or some video. If you watch it, awesome. If you don't, guess we're not worried about it. But I would say, yep. Love the packaging. Love that it's labeled in size, because I will forget. As you've seen, I don't know what the hell's in here. But everything else is labeled, and it's very nicely labeled. Love that. If you can see my little RC table here, you would think this guy's not organized at all. So, and that could be partially true. But that's for me to know and for you to wonder. Okay. So, these bad boys in this now freshly torn and useless bag now. But let me get these bad boys out of here. I just had some pizza, so I'm gonna get them all greasy, of course. Doesn't matter if you wash your hands. Let's pull this top guy off. This guy right here. Sounds wonderful. Let's see here. Get some light here. No, okay, let's not do that. So, this single flare, pop that bad boy off. I must say, the bigger sizes, I don't know why all companies do this, it gets more of like a, if we were to put another one in there, that's the flare on there. So it can get sharp. And the only time you really feel this, with my experience, is when you're sleeping. That bad boy goes like that, pokes into the top here. Sometimes it will hurt somewhere else, depending on how your ear is set up. I guess how your ear naturally is. So if your ear, if like my other ear is supposed to be any different than that one, well, they kind of are if you look at them. This one's got more camber than that one. If you know what camber looks, you know, if you were to do like 10 degrees and this one has 8 degrees. So it's a terrible reference to go off. If you're a car person, you would understand that. But I would say the only complaint is these flares. These flares are vicious, and the bigger they go, the sharper they get. I mean, of course, they can't really help it because they're probably using some kind of industrial flaring device, like a press flare of some sort, probably chop this at a certain length and press flare it. They gotta make it quick, so you know, I mean, imagine someone to correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of looks like some Chinese engineering. Even though these come from Bowling Green, Kentucky, I believe is where King's Body Jewelry is from. Oh, it says it's somewhere in here. I don't know what it says. It says it's somewhere though. Because that's where it came from. That's where it's shipped out of, at least. Bowling Green, Kentucky. So, that's cool and all. But other than that, that'd be the only complaint. Well, maybe not. Maybe one more complaint. Is the width of these bad boys. Look at the width of these bad boys could be just a tad bit longer. But that's just me being OCD. My ears are kind of fat. Kind of like me. So they hang off a little bit, and it's a real pain in the ass to get these rubber bands on. Yeah. So that'd be my only real complaint. And the flare, I could say packaging's awesome. Actually, you know what? Maybe get some other jewelry so we can compare. Compare real quick. Okay, I don't know if that was the same face or not, but here we go. I got some other jewelry here. My very expensive silicone here, and they're not tits. So, are those two different sizes? They are. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. They're disgusting too. So, I'm going to start with these. Obviously, they're modified, chopped. See? So, why they're chopped is because, of course, I get something from Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. Chopped because these flares were eaten into the back of my ear. Bad. Viciously. And these silicone, I don't care what people say, the bigger they get, the better, the more comfortable they get, I think. Depending on where you get them from. These are all from shops, so who knows what they are. This is from a shop that provided tattoo and body modification stuff, like your needles and who knows what else. So real good quality. Also same place. These things are sweet. They're real nice. Other than you have to chop the flares on them. I had to chop the flares on them. Correction, I had to. So these are, that one's to be, that's a 2-incher right there. That's 2-incher. That's also a 2-incher. And this is almost 2-inch, so whatever the size is. That's 1 7/8, and it's not there. I don't know what the hell they were. But this is, see how thin it is? Comparison. We have some stone, real expensive stone. Okay, I don't know why they were so expensive. But Mantra Tattoo is proud of their prices. I got these about 10 years ago. So, see the flare on that bad boy? These, can't even tell you enough. Do not use these to go the next size up. Unless you're already here and the weight of them will get you to the next size. Viciously painful. Not even worth. They're nice to wear if you're already at the size. You're good. You're set. Don't worry about them. If you are not at the size, do not use these to stretch. I mean, or I know you're impatient. Everyone's impatient. But if you have something more like this, very shallow flared, you could probably muster this in and hurt less, but it'll have that pinching, tearing feeling. But back to what I was talking about. I don't even know what I was talking about at this point. I've lost, because I just wanted to rant about, yeah, you know, whatever. If you're following along, thank you. But the flares on this bad boy to the flares of this bad. See, I remembered. See how tiny that bad boy is? And how thick that bad boy is? These things are cool, but your ears look like you got a muffin top hanging over your ear, your jewelry here. These spin apart. I tighten the piss. Tighten the piss out of them. A bunch of crusties came off. Ugh. Obviously, it's been about 3 years. I haven't been wearing jewelry because I had to go to a plastic surgeon, and of course I'm going to put this crusty grossness on my RC table. But I had to go to a plastic surgeon for this bad boy. There's nothing but my ear in this. But this ear, get off subject here. But this ear, look how fucking mind my language there. How beautiful my ear looks. Okay. And about here, and there's a little dimple on it. About there is where the doctor cut and sewed it together. And this ear is fat. So is this here's pretty fat. It's actually really fat, being that it was oh no. I was trying to itch my ear, but I just slapped this bad boy in there. And it already can pop out, so good news. But back to it. This thing, look how tiny that is. That's like quarter, if that, not a quarter. Well, if you know how to tape measure works, I believe quarter, that would be right at quarter. This would be at 3/4. So yeah, if you have really thin ears, like most, maybe not most, but a lot of girls have thinner earlobes, they can fit in all the cool jewelry. All their ears likes to fit in cool jewelry. Imagine there's probably someone's gonna argue about that, and that's arguable, depending on how your ear is. But most girls have thinner earlobes, which means shopping for jewelry is way easier. Doesn't matter if they're thin, though. It could be fat ears, but thin ears, width-wise, fit different things. Yeah, I just smelt it. You've had stretched ears long enough, you know, smelling it's just becomes a common practice for whatever reason. Well, that's not going in there. Okay. So, here's a wood one. So, a perfect example of this guy, smooth tiger eye. Say 3/4, which this is in pipe 3/4. I believe that's how they measure these bad boys. Pipe 3/4, which gauges as a form of measurement. Let's not get into it, because we could be, if you're a pipe fitter, you know what I mean. Well, I don't think they go down that low. They could get down that low. Who cares? But 3/4 inch and something or other. But look at the flare on that bad boy. So, these, ironically enough, I've had for, I think, about 10 years also. And lotion, you soak them in lotion. A lot of people say don't use lotion. Vitamin E lotion or oil. Actually, oil. I think oil. Or if you can't find the vitamin E oil by itself, you get the little capsules and you cut them open. And you pour them back in the bottle or some kind of bottle, or even a syringe if somehow you have a syringe. My mom was a phlebotomist for a long time, so I had them laying around for whatever reason. But yeah, you put them on there and soak these bad boys. Rub them in there for like 5 minutes a piece, and your wood will look perfect. And it won't split. These sat in a storage for 1.5 years in the cold, the heat, and they look amazing. There's a crack on this one, because when I got it, I already had a crack because they were super dry. For whatever reason, Wood, when you buy wood plugs, they're always dry. Don't know why. I think that's just to keep the jewelry all together nice and clean, or in their showroom or showcase, whatever. Look nice, but yes. When vitamin E oil or lotion works. Not as good as the oil on wood plugs. People say to take care of your stone. This is smooth still. Smooth Tiger Eye. It's not really stone. Well, I don't know what the hell this is. Tiger Eye is something or other. At the moment, I cannot remember. But this one's so smooth, I think it's not real Tiger Eye. But this is real stone. I can't remember what it was. But it is rough, but strong. I have one that chipped. So, back to my backstory. This year, it's not only been ripped apart, it's also, I abused it and stretched too fast and tore the piss out of it. Enough where it got infected and came apart. Well, actually, yeah, came apart. And this beautiful thing came out. Beautiful. They were beautiful then. That one got a chunk taken out of it. So, I've had my fair share of my ear. This one, especially this one. Now it's amazingly healthy. Healthier than it probably was when I first started stretching. This thing was not this healthy, but now it's amazingly healthy. A lot of people don't use, I don't know if a lot of people don't use it. It used to be the thing was Neosporin. But when I was stretching before, when I was younger, at one point from 17 to around 25, Neosporin would make my ear get all infected. Hold on. Sound like they're talking about me. Get infected, and it would be miserable. You could move this thing, and pus would come right out of it. But all of a sudden, I can use it. So whatever the reason was for that, beyond me. So, but your ears, I mean, you can watch YouTube and YouTube and YouTube forever. But I would say the best thing is when you take a shower, plop them out. Because most ears, depending on what type of body you have, your skin, your ears will either stay open, and they're fine there. Most ears will shrink. Some ears take forever to shrink. Some ears will never shrink. So if you just stretched and then you hop in the shower, you probably should do it reversed. Be in the shower, have the hot water, making your earlobes all nice and loose and comfortable before you piss it off and shove something bigger in it. Probably should do it that way, but it's for you to find out the hard way if that's the right way to do it. But to take care of your ears, plop them out in the shower, rinse them. You can do oil rubs. I think that's a little old school for me. Well, it's not really. I think seeing old school dudes do it, guys that are like 4 or 5 inches. 5 inches, pretty like. Oh, here we go, right here. Well, this tire's like 4 inches tall. So, I just ironically have a 5-inch tall tire. That's a 5-inch tall tire. Imagine that bad boy on the side of your freaking head. I thought 2 inch was bad. Imagine these. 5 inch? Amount of bull you could get involved in with those in a fight. Ridiculous. But we're already 24 minutes. Okay. Enough ranting. That's my review about King's Body Jewelry. A little insight about me. Want to know about this crazy ear stretching nonsense that, well, if you're watching this about stretching ears or about King's Body Jewelry, this obsession you get with putting a hole in your body and shoving stuff through it. other than the natural holes you already have in your body. And some people they put holes in those, will make them bigger holes, and they already have holes in their face. That doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you did, like the video if you liked it, so I know. Or I guess comment and say you liked it, which I think liking it's a little bit easier. But whatever floats your fancy. My ADHD is kicking in, as you can tell. But yeah. You know. You have a great night, morning, whenever you decide to watch this. And maybe I'll make some more. Okay, have a good one.